Alright, so welcome back to another, I guess you could say, draft league video, or draft tour video, as, we're kind of going for with a different look, different format this time around, so hopefully you guys, enjoy. So this might be familiar to some of you, and to one, this is just, let's just say, um, it's just flattery, let's call it that. I know who you are, even though you might look like a lion, but you are. So, alright, I don't know where I'm going with that intro, so let's just get right into it. So, we're up against Mr. Roggen, and to be honest, this is one of those matchups and that I pretty much like knew eventually we're gonna be facing off deep into this tournament, especially with like one with featuring like Mamoswine, Celesteela, Zeraora. I didn't think I'd face all three, but yeah. Then you have Gardevoir, um, just a very powerful fairy type Mega. So then you can see Gardevoir and Gallade right there. Uh, pretty much interesting to see think about that. So and then you have the Sun Core right there with the Venusaur, Torkoal, and the Kecleon. So first impressions of this team, quite terrifying. You of course like Mamoswine pretty much breaks this team pretty hard, or my team in particular, and it can pretty much come down to who this guy what he's gonna bring, because honestly he could bring all any of these mons, each combination of mons. Good thing this is like a 9-mon format, so yeah. So we could try to like figure out like a good basis there. So if of the like top 6 mons, I think he actually brings like Gardevoir, Zeraora, Celesteela, and Mamoswine for sure. Then like then from there it's like pretty much whether he brings Sun or not, because Sun does look somewhat strong versus me, especially with Venusaur and Torkoal. And one thing I wanna point out is that Sun with growth is pretty scary, because a Sun growth basically is like a Swords Dance and like a Nasty Bot put together, and that just really just invalid. Oh, well, that just not only does it help Venusaur, but it gives it like a lot of mixed potential. So yeah, that thing's double in speed, double in power, and whatnot. Um, so anyways, there's a lot of things I'm worried about. I'm worried about hazard stacking. I'm worried about Celesteela being a walling, well, bamboo thing, or I don't know. And like Zeraora itself. I mean Zeraora. This is like the second Zeraora we faced, so. In terms of what we could bring, or what we don't, I don't what we shouldn't bring. I mean, Mudsdale is pretty obvious, like that we shouldn't bring that one. I mean, it gets walled by like what, Celesteela every time. He just brings in Celesteela and like, that's free Leech Seed, so yeah, or Toxic on something for damage. Vileplume is pretty hampered here, and surprisingly enough, Hydra doesn't really do much work here, given the fact that like, just like you could just see from the top 6 alone, like those mons could like just take hits from Hydra. Maybe the Dredagon, but Dredagon can have like, you know, Glare or like a Bonberry. And then the Suncore could just maybe shrug off Hydra in a way, so it's just pretty hard to bring it here, so yeah. Alright, so we're back. Probably wasn't the smoothest transition, but here we are with the matchup and our team. So first of all, we have Magearna. So as you're probably wondering, this is probably our best answer to Mega Gardevoir, and to anything that's like especially offensive, even the Venusaur to a degree. I do have to worry about like, you know, certain Pokemon that be having Earthquake or just like going for physical damage in general. Obviously Choice Band or Aura is a threat. Growth, Venusaur, especially if it has Earthquake, that could be a problem. But you know, I've already accepted that that sting is gonna sweep me no matter what, so I just have to accept that. So yeah, I'm just it'll just come down to like coverage, whether he has that or not. So, but if he doesn't, then I have Ice Beam for Venusaur. So yeah, Iron Head and Volt Switch are burst coverage options. Volt Switch just to pivot around, and Iron Head just to deal with Combine Mega Gardevoir if that's a thing were to be a threat. So yeah, I thought about having Flare Cannon, just like most standard Magearna sets. But the thing is, that just gives him setup for Guardy, the Venusaur, or even like the Zeraora. And I just felt that consistent damage is just better. So yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have a way to hit Mamoswine for good damage outside of maybe getting like some chip damage here and there. But it's as soon as Mamoswine's like chipped a little bit, then it can't switch in anymore. So even then, I don't think he's gonna try to switch in with the against the Magearna. So yeah. Then we have Storm, the Zapdos, with leftover static, with discharge, defog, toxic, and roost. So I know what you're thinking, and you might be people will probably correct me, and you're thinking like, wait a minute, isn't that like walled by Zeraora? And I'm like, yeah, it is walled by Zeraora, because to be honest, what's worse for this team, being Hatcher stacked or being walled by Zeraora? Because if I get Hatcher stacked with this team, I pretty much lose. And playing against Hatcher stacks in League is not something you guys want to deal with. Like, especially with if the guy brings like a very bulky team, then you could just phase around your team, and that's like, or just wear them down enough easily than they should. So yeah. Especially with Grant having possible spikes and T-spikes. And as you can see with this team, I don't have a Pokemon that could absorb T-spike, Vileplume. So I have Defog for that. I also have Toxic for toxicking stuff like Dredigon, Zeraora, Gardevoir, even Torkoal. And I do have Discharge just to paralyze some stuff. Mamoswine, of course, I want to rather toxic that instead. There's not really much I can do regarding Mamoswine with Zapdos. So, but I did put like a crap ton of defense investment, if not like max near max, because I felt that being able to take hits from Zeraora will be very helpful, and being able to take hits from like Celesteela, especially if it's physically based or whatever. So, yeah. That's how I really have Zapdos, because it's just really filler, just prevents me from getting Hatcher stacked in general, so yeah. Then you have Frobe, which, to be honest, Frobe has a very weird set, and this has a Papa Berry with Swift Swim, Rain Dance. Now, you might be thinking, why the hell you have Swift Swim, Rain Dance? And to answer that question, it's basically two reasons. One, you shut down the rain, or the sun in this case, and shut down Torkoal and Venusaur. Two, if Torkoal is against me, and it tries to go for Solar Beam for some dumb reason, I could just go for Rain Dance, predict that, and then just like tap him in for a second turn. So something that I learned, a trick I did learn, like for using like playing in like doubles, and then like Earth Power and Scald are just better options versus stuff like Zeraora if it's like bulk up, or I'm more concerned about bulk up than Calm Mind, to be honest, because I think I could deal with Calm Mind pretty easily, or a little bit better, but bulk up is just something I can't deal with, because boosted Plasma Fits just break this team pretty hard. So that's why I have Scald there. So okay, so basically I have no speed investment on this code, and it's kind of stupid. But if you think about it, if he tries to speed creep Gallade, I pretty much outspeed Greninja and a Zeraora already. And Zeraora is probably going to be like really, really bulky because of my speed tiers, And yeah, like that's all I have to say. Like, I get boosted Rain Boots. I just want Rain is just there just to just be a disruptor, to be honest. I have Skull just to burn stuff, and just Earth Power just to hit stuff like, Mammo, or not Mammoth, but like, you know, like Torkoal, harder, you know, and Zeraora. Rocks, obviously, I need to chip his team down as well, so yeah, not really much to say there. Um, then we have Lion Doge Diente, and to be honest, Lion Doge is pretty much a revenge killer for Mamoswine because I know Mammo's gonna claim a killer too here, so I might as well just bring Entei as offensive as possible. So, thankfully we do outspeed with the Adamant Nature. Albeit like I did put like a significant amount of investment into Spadef to take hits from Gardevoir, but I don't know if like I know I could take some Hyper Voices, but not like you know psychics and whatnot. So I do have Sacred Fire, just to burn stuff, like especially the Dread again, the Zeraora, and even Gren, because getting chip on Gren is pretty easily. It will help, especially for like getting it in range of E-Speed. I have Flare Blitz just to hit Celesteela a little bit harder. That's pretty much it. So it's just to hit stuff harder. And Bulldoze is pretty much my tech option for Zeraora. And assuming that he goes like very low, like around the 350 like range, if I could like Bulldoze the Zeraora, I should be able to outspeed any variant. Like I think I outspeed like most variants of Zeraora that aren't like bulky. Well, that like unless they're like Jolly, like max speed or timid or whatever. If they're like adamant, that I should outspeed after a Bulldoze, unless like they were like max adamant or something. So yeah. And then like it's also helpful because it helps Zapdos stall out against the Zeraora pretty easily if it comes down to it. Because with Roost plus Toxic, I should be able to Roost, gain electric typing. Assuming the Zeraora has -1 speed, like the way that this would work is that I would be able to resist the Plasma Fists or Thunderbolts, and I should just Toxic stall that thing out. So yeah. So that's pretty much Entei. Pretty much revenge killer. So then we have Gallade, which is our Woodcon probably, with Drain Punch, Earthquake, Poison Jab, and Bulk Up. I didn't see Sword Stance being as viable here because I think being able to bulk up against Zeraora would be nice. And have that defense boost possible against Celesteela, Zeraora, and maybe Mammoth, especially if that thing's scarfed. So, Drain Punch is there to recover some lost HP, and it's pretty nice if you ask me. Especially that I don't have to like, this thing won't be as reliant compared to the others for like HP loss. So yeah, as we'll have discussed with the last Pokemon. Earthquake hits his team pretty hard. Like it hits Zeraora and Torkoal really hard for super effective damage. And Poison Jab is pretty nice because it's actually good coverage for Gardevoir and just poisons Jings in general. So it could get good chip damage and possibly a poison on like a Torkoal or Kecleon or whatever. So I do have to be concerned about Kecleon because that thing could pull off some priority Shadow Sneaks, and it could become a Ghost type. So I have to hit it with Earthquake, or because Ghost resists poison as well, and obviously it's immune to like fighting. So yeah. But over to that, Gallade's just here just to clean his team, or just break, or just sweep. I don't know, one of the three options. Probably sweep if it has the chance to. Then lastly, we have Gloop. To be honest, Gloop is just pretty nice if you ask me, because it just heals everyone up. It just heals everyone up. And with S-Toss, I can pretty much 1v1 Celesteela. I know that sounds really weird saying that, but like, Body Slam ain't gonna do like crap against Celesteela. And Celesteela, yes, it has Leech Seeds, yes, it has that, but I'm able to do chip damage to Celesteela. And I could just easily wish back up and go back into Zapdos or Entei. And that just helps me out for the long term. Obviously, I have Heal Bell because I need to be careful against Toxics, and Wish support just to help against with Magearna, Zapdos. Like, any of the last But like the last like 4 or 5 months I have, like, they just it just benefits like from the cleric support, And Seismic Toss is just always great chip damage to have because it puts it in range of anything from my team. And it avoids the whole like, Calm Mind or bulk up boost I have to deal with, or just like the skull burns. So I was thinking about running Body Slam just for the paralysis chances, but it just felt like being able to break the subs from Celesteela is pretty nice. And just do good chip damage in general. So yeah. So that's the team. And we'll get on to the battle, so. Hey everyone, so we're back, and so we're up against Mr. Boggen here, and man, like, not gonna lie, it's been like I think a week since I last recorded the intro for that one. So yep, hashtag life. So, anyways, I'll try to get this video up as soon as I can. So, so regarding Mr. Boggen here, he has Starter Frogs, Celesteela, Mamoswine, Turtle, and a Badger. So, Gardevoir is not anywhere to be found. Well, because I have a Gallade. Oh, I don't know. I just noticed I had a Gardevoir and he has a Gallade. So, he had a Gardevoir and I had a Gallade. So, there's also like Kecleon and Dredagon. Both of them were hatch setters with rocks, but thankfully he doesn't break either of them. Especially like one of them could have been really annoying for Gallade. Well, like, it's Shadow Sneak protein Kecleon, while Dredagon could just spread paralysis with Gallade. So yeah. But looking into this matchup, I realized that Gallade pretty much sets up and does whatever the hell it wants to. So, and yeah, like looking at his team, like nothing wants to take on Gallade pretty easily or pretty well. So, like maybe Celesteela can like tank a hit, a fighting staff from my side, but like of course I always want to chip Celesteela down as much as possible. So I do gotta be careful about the Sun Core, because I have to be careful about whether or not like Venusaur has Life Orb, the like Earthquake, with growth and whatnot. So yeah. So yeah. I'm just gonna go and just lead with Gallade because again, it's pretty much my best option lead. So here he goes to Gren as I go to Gallade, and honestly, this is a very good lead up for myself. So because I pretty much get free damage on Celesteela, guaranteed, or whatever he wants to switch in here. He thinks I could take on my Gallade, so and I'm like thinking to myself, okay, what could I do? Do I want to set up or just go for the attack? Because he could just go for hazards, This could be like a lead Greninja, and I don't have to fear any Z moves, so yeah. At this point I'm like, alright, like this is early on in the game, I could just go for damage here. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for my Mega. He goes for Hydro Pump, as with our thanks to our bulk, we should live that, and we go for Drain Punch. And I think he was expecting some sort of like not choke, but more so like an aggressive play, an overly aggressive play, and on his end, like obviously Hydro Pump could have two-shot at me, but I was like, nah, I'm just gonna go for damage. So yeah. Here's gonna go Celesteela, and obviously that's the reasonable like go-to mon to go here now. So obviously I don't want to take a flying hit. So here he goes for Autonomize, and this is where I'm like, kind of like, I don't want to say panicking, but like now that I'm like realizing, wait a minute, this is setup Celesteela, and I'm like, oh great, this thing could set up, and I'm like, wait a minute, how could this thing set up like pretty easily? And I'm like, okay, he could either be Metronome or Weakness Policy. He can't be one of the two items. So at this point I'm like, okay, alright. So I could either go for Scald right now, or at this point in the game, since it's early on, maybe just go for Rocks. Because getting up Rocks could be like good, just put down stuff. But here I think I go for like the Scald, but I get flinched, and at this point I'm like, alright, we just gotta get up Rocks now because at this point I knew that I'm gonna have to like I'm gonna like I knew I have to like get up like all into Licky Licky and just try to, you know, try to beat this Celesteela 1v1. Because fortunately for me, unless he doesn't have Leech Seed, um, this Licky Licky should beat Celesteela in a 1v1 because unless he's like if he's like not metronome basically. So obviously I want to save Rogue for later. So I'm gonna go for a Licky Licky. So gulp. So here I'm gonna go for the protect. Just get a little bit of leftovers recovery. So here he's gonna reveal the Stone Edge, and I'm gonna go for the Wish. As I just go to Seismitoad, as he's gonna go for the Air Slash. As he gets a crit, I live on 1 HP, and I just recover back to full. So yeah. Here I'm just gonna go to Licky Licky, as he's gonna go for Air Slash. And I think at this turn, this is where he decides to go for the Torkoal to set up the Sun. And here I just go for Protect, and honestly, I kind of make a couple of misplays here and there, as you'll see. And it's just playing around Torkoal, if you ask me. So right now I'm like thinking to myself, okay, I got rid of Gren, so no more Spike hazards to deal with. But Torkoal is probably like the other possible Pokemon that can have hazards, except maybe Mamoswine. So maybe this thing has Rapid Spin, because that's probably his best, his you know, his obvious hazard removal. So, and of course it could also go for Toxic. So here I decide, you know what, I'm just gonna go for this S-Toss, just try to chip this thing down. Because Torkoal is already like wore down with the rocks damage, so he goes for Toxic. Makes kind of a mid-ground play there. Not really interesting. So here he goes for the rocks, as I'm just gonna go for Wish and Protect or Heal Bell here just to recover off like poison. Here he's gonna no, it's not this turn. So I'm gonna go my Wish, get some recovery. Here I should have honestly gone for Protect to stall out turns of Sun. Like this is probably the biggest mistake that I make, because if I was able to stall out some Sun turns, then I would have been able to like chip him down with or pretty much like like ensure that like you know, Venusaur would have as many turns of Sun, which will come to play right now. So, and two, unfortunately for me, this would have avoided me getting I don't know, Loudbloom crit burned. So yeah, that all that happens, and I'm like, damn, now I pretty much lose Licky Licky. So I could have just gotten a little bit healthier. So yeah, and of course, at this point, I'm pretty much forced to go for S-Toss onto the the Torkoal. So thankfully, you know, Burn doesn't like hinder, you know, S-Toss since that's that damage, and it's pretty much coming to play here. So at this point, I'm like, all right, he's gonna go Venusaur, and I'm just gonna like stack my like Licky Licky, just go for like a Wish or as a last ditch attempt to like recover. So yeah. So at this point, I'm gonna go Magearna. It's AV, so I should be able to take whatever hit this thing can do or throw at. So here he's gonna go for the Growth. So he's probably gonna think that he can live this Ice Beam, and he can. So this is could be a bulky Venusaur, but at this point I'm thinking to myself, maybe this is Earthquake Venusaur. But it turns out this thing is just regular HP Fire or Ground, I don't know, with Life Orb. So I'm just able to knock out this Venusaur. So yeah, I get a Soarhouse boost, but it doesn't really matter because Mamoswine's here. So at this point I'm like, alright, I'm just gonna sack Magearna and just attack Mamoswine, as he's just gonna go for the Earthquake, obviously respecting the Magearna option so that I have right in front of him. So here I'm just gonna go for Night or Gallade, and at this point I could just go for a Drain Punch, as he reveals he's actually Scarfed, but thanks to the bulk we have and not getting off, and also the fact that, you know, being able to Drain Punch, like, recover HP back, once again, we're now at a good position. So At this point, we're up against the Zeraora and the Celesteela. So, and at this point, I'm like, okay, this isn't that bad. Like, as long as I have my Entei and my Seismitoad, I should be fine with it. So here I go for Drain Punch, and it looks like I get 2-shot at this thing, as he's gonna go for Autotomize. As even if he could try to go for Air Slashes, unless he crits me, I should be able to live and just get the damage I need. So as you'll see, I'm just gonna go for the Drain Punch. I was kind of concerned whether he was Berry, 50% Berry, but whatever. So he goes for the he gets set up there, and I go for my Lion Doge. So at this point, I'm like, all right, so I could just go for E-Speed. I don't have to deal with this Celesteela. This could just possibly sweep me. So yeah, I'm just gonna go for E-Speed. And last is Zeraora. And at this point, I'm like, okay, if this guy starts setting up right now, I'm gonna go for Bulldoze. Like, and if he's like, Choice Band or Choice something, then he can't beat me. Like, he needs to get like a crit. So life from something. So he actually goes for Grass, not predicting the Seismitoad. As I go for Bulldoze, and I'm able to reduce the speed there. So, and yeah, at this point, we outspeed again because I think he's like positive speed nature instead of like, oh, not positive, but neutral speed nature instead of positive. So that pretty much seals the game. So GG's to Mr. Boggen, and yeah, we advanced to winners finals. So going back to this game, I think Gallade just played a huge role in just like being able to like get the kill onto Greninja, get the kill onto like Mamoswine, and also like chip down Celesteela as I wanted to. So pretty much the goal was to always like chip down Celesteela no matter what. And I think we had the team to do so. And not only that, like I think honestly the first, like, I'll admit, like, the first turn, like, was kind of, like, annoying for my opponent because he kind of didn't have a switch in. So, and to give his credit, like, he kind of didn't know what to do with Gallade because, Gallade could have whatever coverage it wants. So I guess he was kind of banking off, like, somewhat of a sort of a mini choke on my end where I just don't attack him for whatever reason. So I just attack what's in front of me. So, yeah. Of course, like, Celesteela was there, but, getting any chip damage is pretty good, so... Especially if it's around the 40 range. That would have just indicated to me that he was offensive, so yeah. So, regarding how we played, I think it was okay. We played fine, it just pretty much went back and forth. I think the burn on and crit onto Licky probably, like, gave him, like, a little more momentum than he should have. Well, yeah, it was a little bit RNG hacks against me, but like, to be fair, like, I honestly played a little bit too. I don't know if I should have been more cautious, basically. Even though like that could have been punished pretty. I was kind of like in a situation where I didn't want to like Zeraora to come in or like Venusaur to come in with near full HP. So I wanted to be able to start chipping them down. So I guess that's why I started going for the seismic tosses pretty quickly. So yeah. Or immediately, so if anything, I think at that point, I think we were in a commanding spot because Licky looked like was able to like beat Celesteela, Torkoal, and possibly like at least chip down Venusaur. Now I don't know whether or not Zeraora was like expert belt or like what the item was, but like it could have been a threat if it was like more offensively based, but I don't know. I think the end game, even if Entei somehow died, was like hopefully have like Entei take the hit, the Plasma Fist, and then like just get the Bulldoze. That's pretty much all I needed. To the point where I could just Toxic with Zeraora with my Zapdos, and because I'm faster, I can always go for Roost. And hopefully he's gotten some damage on me. I could like go for Roost. Well, I'm gonna get damage with rocks out of the way, so I would like go for Roost, and I would always have an electric resistance to you know, Plastifist, it's of course like I lose my flying typing. So yeah, that's pretty much the plan, because lower his speed to the point where I could just abuse Roost, Toxic Roost. So yeah, pretty much Roost all them. But even then, I had like E-Speed, I had like Bulldoze, and like some fire coverage there. So yeah. And also Seismitoad was right there. So yeah. So that's the game. So um, next our next opponent's gonna be I believe what's his name? And it's been a while since I battled him, but we're gonna be battling for winners finals, and it's technically speaking the semifinals, even though this was semifinals for winners finals, but this will be finals for winners final. Oh, okay, I've already confused the hell out of this. So yeah, so I apologize. Alright, I looked it up. So I looked up his name. We're battling against Pablo 16. So yeah, hopefully we get a good battle going. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, well, anyways, hopefully you stick around for this channel. So we'll be having more Sword and Shield content as we go along, or approach like November. So all right, I'm gonna stop dragging this out. So see ya.